All right, let's hear it for Los Angeles. That's a great song. Randy Newman's I Love LA. And speaking of LA, I think we are going to stay right there on that topic. And next up, it's not a movie, but this is going to be the first documentary that we're going to go over on UHD at the movies. And this is available on Netflix. So, 1980s Los Angeles, the Summer Olympics have come to town, and so has a ruthless serial killer. The Netflix documentary, The Night Stalker, The Hunt for a Serial Killer, was released on January 13th, 2021. The documentary follows detectives in charge of the investigation of the Night Stalker, 24-year-old Richard Ramirez from El Paso, Texas. The stars and main focus of the documentary are the intelligent detectives Gil Carrillo and Frank Salerno. The crimes perpetrated by the Night Stalker were horrific, his patterns unorthodox and unpredictable. Ramirez would quietly check houses for unlocked doors and windows and slip inside undetected, usually armed. 14 people lost their lives to his murderous rampage, not to mention the continued suffering of the surviving victims. The Night Stalker's victims ranged in age from 9 to 89 years old. Neither men nor women were safe, sometimes with multiple weapons used in the process, or his own hands and teeth. We've never encountered anyone like this before in criminal history, Detective Carrillo states in the film. This guy is bad. He's evil. He has done some things that you don't want to know about. At multiple crime scenes, there were pentagrams found drawn on the walls. One of the consistent descriptions of the Night Stalker given by surviving victims was the smell of his rotting teeth. The detectives worked tirelessly to get the man off the streets. Both Detective Carrillo and Detective Salerno complemented the other perfectly. Salerno was the intensely serious one, while Carrillo was usually seen expressing a genuine and relatable smile. Both partners worked together with their own approach and style. In effect, you were hunting a man, Salerno states. I've never been a hunter. I'm a city slicker, so I looked at it as playing a game of Clue, you know? Colonel Mustard did it with a gun in the kitchen, Carrillo quipped. Early on in the Night Stalker, Detective Carrillo caught a large amount of flack from the others in the homicide division. They had believed that he was only trying to make a name for himself, with the false label of serial killer attributed to the investigation. I went there openly and honestly. I didn't realize they were going to reject and scoff at my theory. Salerno was already established as an accomplished homicide detective after working the Hillside Strangler case that plagued Southern California in the early 80s. Once Detective Salerno agreed to the serial killer diagnosis, the police captain gave the green light for a full-blown homicide investigation. Detective Carrillo emphatically exclaims, things started going fast and furious. At multiple crime scenes, there was a size 11.5 shoe print left behind from Avia aerobic sneakers. These shoe prints connected the crimes. It was even revealed that through investigation of the shoe company, there was only one pair of black Avia aerobic sneakers shipped to Los Angeles that was size 11.5 of that very type with matching soles. Cooperation between the heroes at the Los Angeles and San Francisco police departments are shown in the documentary as one of the catalysts to the Night Stalker's eventual identification as Richard Ramirez. The documentary captures viewers' attention, and the story is unlike any criminal cases before or after, especially the unbelievable details of his eventual capture and arrest. Night Stalker stays interesting throughout, and it is definitely worth the watch. It was revealed during the trial that Ramirez believed himself to be killing in the name of the devil. We are all evil in some form or another, are we not? Asked Ramirez. The Night Stalker disturbed court proceedings, displaying a pentagram drawn on his palm, and he screamed, "Hail Satan!" Ramirez was ultimately penalized with 19 death sentences. Big deal. Death always came with the territory. See you at Disneyland, said Ramirez after the sentencing. On June 7th, 2013, at the age of 53, Richard Ramirez died of B-cell lymphoma while awaiting appeals to his sentence. Night Stalker is a terrifying documentary, and it actually stayed on Netflix top 10 list for at least 3 weeks. That kind of shows that society's macabre interest in serial killers is definitely not weighing through the pandemic. Shown in 4 segments, the limited series runs 189 minutes total and keeps viewers on the edge of their seats. There will be many double-checked locks on doors and windows after watching The Night Stalker, The Hunt for a Serial Killer documentary. The Night Stalker, The Hunt for a Serial Killer is available to stream on Netflix. And one of the reasons I thought that it would be interesting and relevant is people are really interested in the Jeffrey Dahmer series that's on Netflix right now. I haven't seen it, but I have watched a little bit of it. I do intend to go back and watch it, but I think that's a fictionalized account of the life of Jeffrey Dahmer, whereas this Night Stalker, The Hunt for a Serial Killer, is a documentary, so it's all nonfiction. There's a lot of interesting documentaries and things like that on Netflix. Also, the John Gacy documentary, I think, is on Netflix, and that one is particularly pretty good.